Joining me now, Ben Judah, author of this book, Fragile Empire, How Russia Fell In and Out of Love with Vladimir Putin. Ben, welcome back.
Thank you.
So let's just begin with you use the W word, war. Is that how you see this invasion?
Yes, Russia and Ukraine have been fighting a new type of war now for almost 2-3 months. It's a hybrid war. It's not declared formally. It's a Russian-controlled stealth invasion in which a combination of mercenaries, paratroopers, special operatives, and the forces of warlords from the North Caucasus are battling the Ukrainian army, which has, of course, been heavily supported by the West. Why is Putin doing this? Why is Putin now moving to send full-on reinforcements into Ukraine? And the answer is that Putin is trapped by his own propaganda. Vladimir Putin created this monster, which people are very frightened of in Russia because he controls Russian TV and he controls what goes on Russian TV, of Nazi Ukraine. Every day on television for 12 hours a day, Russians have been told that Ukraine is now run by the Nazis, that a third of the shops in Kiev are abandoned.
Why can't he just stop, Ben? Why can't he stop? Heaven forbid Vladimir Putin would say, I'm wrong, and cease what he began there in Ukraine. But what's wrong with that?
Because Nazi Ukraine, as Putin has framed it for the Russian people, was starting to win. And it looked like Putin's rebels were going to lose Donetsk and Luhansk. Now, Vladimir Putin can't lose those two cities to the Nazi party, can he? So that's why he has to react. He's trapped by his propaganda. If the Ukrainians retake these areas, the Nazis retake these areas in front of the Russian public.
So then, to go along with that Russian narrative, if he sees Ukraine as Nazi Ukraine, then why is he out, Ben? Why is he out with all the cameras for him to see, shanking the Ukrainian President Poroshenko's hand just a couple of days ago? I mean, you've written a book on this, man. You and I have talked before about, you know, Putin's alone time and swimming and what he likes to eat. I mean, take me inside his brain as best as you can. What's the strategy behind the photo?
That's not on Russian TV. You know, the photos that we saw in the West are not the photos that the Russian public is seeing. Like, Russia has a classic authoritarian, almost dictatorial control over the television that normal people see at home, and they're not seeing those images. The images they're seeing are of kind of evil, murderous Ukrainian forces advancing. Why is he doing this? Why has Putin created this enemy? Why has Putin created this war? It's all about survival, which is Vladimir Putin knows that if he ever loses his grip, he risks going to prison because all the money that's been stolen, all the wars that have happened, all the human rights abuses that have been committed, and therefore he needs to stay relevant, he needs to stay feared, he needs to stay loved, he needs to stay adored. And in order to do that, Putin has gone back to that old trick, which is a short, successful war used by politicians for time immemorial in international politics.
So then, is there no real long-term goal if he just wants to continue, you know, injecting this fear in the Russian populace, those who at least believe it and believe the conspiracies that are pervasive on Russian television? Because we've seen the stop, start, stop, start. I mean, is that all this is about for him? Stopping and starting and nothing bigger in the end?
Well, the propaganda's starting to take a life of its own. The propaganda's become bigger. It's become a trap for Putin. Having frightened the Russian population in order to stay in power, having terrified them of the prospect of a Nazi Ukraine, he now finds himself compelled to support this rebellion, even at the cost of a full collapse in relations with the West, or even a full-scale war. Otherwise, he looks weak in front of the Russian public. The frightening thing is that Ukraine is also trapped by its own propaganda. Mr. Poroshenko came to power promising no negotiations, victory. He promised to liberate Donetsk and Luhansk in time for Ukraine's National Day, and that was a few weeks ago now. So both the parties are stuck. They can't give up. If Poroshenko gives up, he loses, he falls. If Putin gives up, he's severely damaged in front of the eyes of the Russian public. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a very, it doesn't really look like there's much of a way out right now for Russia or Ukraine in this increasingly escalating war in the lands between them.
Sounds like a bit of a stalemate that each country has trapped itself. Ben Judah, come back, as we'll be watching what happens with these troops now in Ukraine. Ben, the author of Fragile Empire, How Russia Fell in and Out of Love with Vladimir Putin. Thank you, sir.